Lately, we've been hearing a lot about global warming, and words like carbon footprint, climate shift, carbon dioxide, and climate change. But what is carbon? And what does it have to do with climate change? Carbon is everywhere in the ecosystem, and it is always moving. Some of it is floating in the atmosphere. Plants absorb carbon from the air and store it in their bodies. When animals eat plants, they eat carbon. And when something bigger eats those animals, they're having a carbon snack too. But that carbon won't stay still for long. When an animal poops or something dies, carbon moves around again. Some of it is held in the soil for a while. And eventually, most of it ends up back in the atmosphere. The same type of process happens in the oceans too. Most of the carbon dioxide gas on Earth is actually dissolved in ocean water. Some of the carbon from dead plants and animals was trapped underground, and over millions and millions of years, it turned into coal, oil, and gas. And that's pretty much how the system works. Some carbon has stayed deep underground for millions of years, but the rest moves around the ecosystem from the air to plants to animals and back into the atmosphere. And that's the story of the carbon cycle. Well, it was, until we came along. We've been cutting down a lot of forests that used to absorb carbon from the atmosphere. And we've been digging up carbon from deep underground and burning it for energy. Doing that pumps that old carbon back into the air. By getting rid of plants and burning lots of fossil fuels, we've changed the system. The atmosphere is filling up with carbon faster than plants and oceans can absorb it. All this extra carbon in the air is like a blanket around the Earth that traps in extra heat from the sun. And things are changing all over the globe. But now that we know that we are part of the system, we can do things to keep it in balance. We can stop chopping down forests and plant trees. We can use less energy. Even better, we can find other sources of energy and leave the ancient carbon underground and out of the atmosphere.